guys, as I said, in the library right now, I'm here on my PC. As you can see, what I've written there, put in there as my backwall: the pain you feel today will be the strength you feel tomorrow. That's actually the reality of life. Anything that you want is part of the reality. God say, worship me, obey me, do the right thing, I'm gonna give you paradise. It's the same. So people are getting the pain today, but that pain is going to be something positive for tomorrow. Guys, without wasting your time, let's dive into the technical analysis. Dive into the US Canadian dollar, because last 2 weeks, that was what I was on Friday. That is what I was actually looking to anticipate based on the strategy that I trade last 2 weeks Friday. And then from this week, the week that has passed, and that week is when the market was ready, because previous week when I entered, the market took me out because it wasn't ready yet. And then this week that just gone, this last Friday, everything was on point. This last Friday, everything was on point. So now I'm going to take you into the basics that most people ignore about the basics, and looking for many indicators and many things on their chart, and that's why they don't really have the focus, they don't really have the concentration. Now I'm going to dive you into a very simple basic, which I consider the MLS. The MLS is the market structure, number one, and the L is the levels, which is the zones, support and resistance, and the S is the signal. MLS make everything simple. Now, when you talk about the market structure, if you are not new into trading, you already know it. It's very simple. We have to repeat it because it's always the basics. The market make higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, and higher lows, higher highs, and higher lows, higher highs, and higher lows, and so on. That is what the market is actually doing. So when the market is actually going up, that's what the market is doing. We can see that this level here, I'm going to mark with the blue. This level here is actually the level with most of the time. So I'm trying to clone this blue line so that we can see. So guys, you can see that this is what I call the uptrend. When the market is trending up, we can see that the market is making series of higher highs and higher lows. You can see this is actually the uptrending market. So when the market decide to go down, because when it comes to financial market, if we are not doing the one thing, we are doing the other, which means that if you are not buying, you are selling. So it's just a very simple concept. When it comes to the, what we call it, the low trend, when the market is going down, we are expecting the market to do something like this to create, what we call it, lower highs and lower lows. So it's lower lows, the first one, and the lower highs, lower low, lower highs and lower low, lower highs and lower lows. Guys, as I said, the market is always, most of the time when the market is going down, the market is most of the time respecting the trend line, and respecting what I call the structure, the way how it moves. So guys, that is, we can see that the market is respecting those pivot points. So that is how this is very important for me, because the problem is most people ignore the basics and then they try to make it more complicated. And once you try to make it more complicated, that is where things will start to be like unreasonable for you. You have to keep it simple as possible, and that will actually help for you to see what the market is doing. You can see this trend line here. That is actually one of my strategy. The market is respecting the trend line. We can see when the market made a pullback, is actually what we call it, an opportunity for an entry point, pullback, entry point, pullback, entry point. So actually, for you to trade the contra trend against the market is one of the dangerous things that you can do, because The market doesn't care. The market can just drop at any time. You have to be careful, but the pullbacks are more healthy for me. I think those are what can be, and sometimes the market will not do what you want. So I will show you what I mean by when the market will not do what you want. You're expecting that this market will come to this level and also do like this. To do like this and then drop again. But the market come to this point and it continues to the next lower lower highs. It continues to the next lower highs and then drop from there. So this is something that has most of the time happened to me. That's why sometimes when, even though I see my setups, I don't rush into entry. I have to make sure to see that sometimes the market will trick you. That is what happened to me with this pair US that I'm about to break down, US Canadian dollar, last week Friday. That's what it tricked me, and then I was thinking that it's going to come and follow the same principle that it has been doing, but unfortunately the market didn't do that. So guys, as I already explained to you, the what we call it, the market structure. Now the last one is when the market is ranging, when the market is playing between two horizontal level, which is the market is playing between two trend lines, making like up and down, up and down. So the market is actually ranging. So this is actually ranging market. And when the market is ranging also, there's opportunity that we can find at the pivot point. When the market get to this point, you buy, get to that point, you sell. But at the same time, you have to be observing to know that when the market get to that level, you are going to take your profit, because we never know when the market is going to break out, because most of the time the market make a breakout after the three touch. The fourth touch can be a breakout, or sometimes the market can just break out in the first touch or the second touch. The thing is, you can never predict what we call 100% the market, but what we can do is we can anticipate the probability, what is likely to happen, because this market is a game of what I call the probability, guys. And that is it now. So now, after I explain the MLS, which is the market structure, also the level, which is the zone of support and resistance, and also the signal. Now let's dive into this chart, and then I will explain to you what I already show you previously. Now guys, we can see what the market is doing right now. So okay, let me go to 4-hour time frame. So guys, as we can see this chart, the reason why I make it very smaller, so that we can actually see what the market is doing. So we can see these waves. The market moves in a form of waves. Let me demonstrate to you as I demonstrated earlier. So the market is making higher highs. Look here, this is higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. Sometimes it even get to equal what we call it, equal lows, or we call it equal lows, higher highs, higher lows. And this place, it didn't even make, this place particularly didn't make any higher highs. It came and make back to the equal lows, but it couldn't do what it couldn't break this resistance level, and it continued its own trajectory, which is higher highs and higher lows. So higher highs, higher lows. So higher highs, higher highs again. Here we make what we call the equal high, because here we already have a resistant level. Here previously we already have a resistant level. Guys, I'm gonna make it bigger. Pay attention. Here we going to have what we call the equal highs. I'm gonna make it more bigger. You can see what I mean, guys. You can see that the market has made an equal high. So equal highs always tell you that the market couldn't break, the sellers couldn't allow the buyers to continue upwards. Here we can see a signal. We can see a signal of rejection. We can see this pin bar here pointing from downwards, that they were rejected. So this is actually one of the signs that you have to be watching to know that even though you are not going to enter now. For me, if I see this, I'm not going to jump in because I already know that the market is not ready yet, because you can even see this pin bar here is still a green pin bar, and is likely to continue upwards. If I see this, I'm not going to jump in. I'm going to just be waiting to see what I'm actually looking for. After this, what happened? This happened on Friday. This happened on Friday, and then we came to Monday, Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, in what we call it in the US section, which is the New York section, what happened? We formed a very this red candle, which is bearish engulfing candlestick, showing us that now the sellers are really stepping into the market. The sellers are now gaining a control. So, which means, so now that I see that the sellers are now gaining into control, do I have to jump into this market yet? I've seen this, and what make me pay attention is when I saw this and this happened, it wasn't something that I actually wanted to trade, but what I saw was, let me take this so guys, so we can have it very clear. What I saw was, I saw a bearish momentum. You see, this market is dropping. So let me see here for 4 hours time frame, so this market is dropping to this area. It dropped, and remember, this area was a previous support level, which was the last higher lows, higher lows. Remember that this area is the last support area, which was the higher lows before the market went back to make what we call it higher highs, and no, equal highs. We can see that the market here came back here, and the market was not able to move. So this is what we call it equal highs. So after this equal high, we have this bearish engulfing candle, and I saw this momentum. I wasn't into this trade. I saw this momentum, came to this direction. That was on Friday. That is on Friday. The market came to this direction, broke this, higher lows, which is the last support area. It break it down, and then after breaking it down, so I saw this candle here. Guys, pay attention. You see, this one is what we call it the evening star here. So my trading style is just like lean on me strategy. When the market tend to lean on the trend line. So I saw this and I was like, okay, this is actually going to be good. So I saw this and I enter here, but what happened? I put my stop loss on top of this evening star, and the market took me out. So that is what I explained earlier. The market took me out. Then I realized that, okay, maybe this market is likely to continue upwards. It's likely to make another equal high. We can see from this previous area here that this market came to this area and then went all the way up. So I changed my biases into buy. So I try to buy, and then before I see again, the momentum was stuck, the market wasn't going. Then I realized, like, okay, this is showing me that my analysis was actually invalidated. So I quickly went out. So this was like invalidated for me. I'll make it like this. This is actually like invalidated for me, and let me just get out of this trade and then look for another opportunity. But because I'm journaling, something that I've been doing that is actually not helping me is, like, imagine when I got from this trade, this is a potential trade, just because I didn't get the right entry, or I was not able to get the entry at the right moment, it doesn't mean that the trade is invalidated. Then what I do before is I go into the other market and try to see something on top and say, okay, this market look like it's gonna drop, and the moment you sell, then the market will take you out again. Then before you come back to the one that you've been watching, then you will see that that market is already, going the way you wanted. How many times have you seen this happen to you? So I waited patiently, and then I observed what the market is doing. I was like, let me just be patient. So came to the, what we call it, on Tuesday on US section, this candle form again. I'm going to take it into the 1 hour time frame. So this is the 1 hour time frame here. So guys, we can see that on 1 hour time frame, on this area here, guys, you can see this area, you can see this area here. Let me mark it with the, where is my, well, on this area here, guys, we can see that we have what we call it, a bearish engulfing candle, in this area. So after seeing this bearish engulfing candle, I was like, man, this is New York session. This is New York session. And, this market, I know that this moment is an aggressive moment. There's a lot of momentum. So I believe that this market will keep doing what will keep pushing down. It's now revealing itself to me. So then I anticipated my entry point from this level, and this is where I was able to, what did I do? I just waited patiently, for the, what we call it, for the next candle to form. We form another candle. We form another candle here. So this candle here, let me take it into 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame. I think my entry was on 15-minute time frame, 15-minute time frame. So my entry was just, just above, just in the middle of this, what we call it, in the middle of this, what we call bearish engulfing candle in 1 hour. So what I did was, I did something like this, guys. Let me take a sell position. So I did this, and I was anticipating a very, let me take it into 15 minutes. So my entry was quite aggressive because guys, in this market, that's why I said that everything is all about your experience. So what you experience and the thing that you've seen happen to you, is how you're going to, I'm approaching the market according to the way, I can be able to do what I can be able to break even as early as possible, So guys, I enter this way. So this was my entry point here. Here was my entry point, and my stop loss was here, on this candle. So guys, let's see, 23 pips. So guys, we can see that the market ran, this is almost, I would say it is, let me see, the market rallied to this point here. The market rallied to this point here. So this is 2.3 ratio, reward ratio. If I'm risking, once the market has dropped like this, I was able to come here and then reduce my risk. So my stop loss became more tighter. So giving the market the room even of 5 to risk reward ratio. But when the market dropped here, there was a little bit of pullback, which is almost close to my stop loss. But I said to myself, you know what? I cannot do anything about it. This market, my stop loss was here. My stop loss was here. Imagine, my stop loss was here, and we had a pullback. This pullback came here. I was in profit from this zone. I haven't closed it. The market came here and they made a pullback. So this pullback, I was like, this market is likely to take me away. But I was like, let me just wait patiently. Let me trust in this analysis. And then I see the market start moving back. After this pullback, that is where I knew that this market is going to continue, it's going to continue after this pullback here. This is where I knew that the market is going to keep dropping. So the market dropped all the way to this level. So I was anticipating the market to drop to this zone here. You can see that this market dropped to this zone, but I knew that it's not going to make it in the right way. It's not going to make it at the same way. So I make sure that I took profit when the market came to this level here. That's where I took my profit, and I say, you know what? Alhamdulillah, thank God, I'm done. Imagine from this level to this it's a lot of profit. I took this profit and I say, you know what? I'm done. So I left it, but I'm still watching what the market is going to do. And then after that, what we call, let me see which day the market rally like that. It was on Tuesday to Wednesday. The market rallied this way. Then I was like, no problem. You know, if I could just hold this trade like this, then I don't want to run the risk, because sometimes you are in this place, then the market will just go back. You will just go back and take all the profit that you made. But I was like, no, I'm very happy with what I got. I'm not going to be holding. So I just left it while still watching the market. We have some ranging here, because this area, we never know what's going to do. So have some ranging here, and then after on Thursday, I see that the market did what? The market start pushing downwards. And on Friday, what did I see? I see this volume here. This volume here, guys. I saw this candle here. After I left this trade, I came back. I was like, whoa, I saw this candle here forming a very red bearish engulfing candle. I was like, oh, this is actually a huge candle. What I did was like, I'm going to go into this trade again. Then I went back to 15 minutes time frame, and then I anticipated the pullback, because imagine this is the 4-hour candle, but now it's a 15-minute candle, which is telling us that there's a lot of sellers. They are really aggressive, and we've already broken this area here. Guys, when you are following the market structure, you really understand what is going on. We've already broken this resistant area. We've already broken this resistant area, guys. I mark with red. You can actually see that we already break this area, but the market has to make a retest. All these places is ranging in 15 minutes, but I was retest. This candle is a confirmation that the retest is over, that the buyers could not hold this, they are weak, they could not push the market higher. And then after, we see this volume candle. This is a very big candle. Before, when I see this, I will say they are already selling. I'm not going to, I will be trying to buy, then I will be losing more, because when you see this, you think it's too low, then you try to buy, then the market keep taking you out. But this time I was like, no, I understood the game they are playing. This fat candle cannot show me anything. And it was also in New York section on Friday, on Friday by 4:30 or 3 o'clock. So my anticipation was to catch this move here. So I did this, guys. So I re-enter. So imagine I re-enter this trade by putting my stop loss just in the range of the 4-hour candle. So when we take it into 4-hour candle, guys, we can see that this is how it looked like. This is the market just having a little bit pullback on the 4-hour. You can see in 2 hours, we can see what happened. We can see in 1 hour what is going on here. So we form another candle in 1 hour, and then this is my stop loss. So guys, and this is 5 to 5 risk reward ratio. So you see, so this is actually what's happening in 15 minutes, guys. I saw this. I was actually trailing my stop loss when the market came to this level and make a pullback. I bring my stop loss here. when it come back here and make a pullback, and put my stop loss here, and then the market came all the way to this level, but of course I'm actually anticipating the market to come to this area here. You can see on daily time frame the market to come to this level here, but I was like, you know what, 1 to 5 risk reward ratio, what am I going to be complaining about? I'm not going to be what we call, I'm not going to be complaining about that. I will just do what I just took my profit. And bro, I'm trading some prop firm, and actually I was in some drawdown, but this has actually helped me to do what, to recover all the losses that I made. So guys, this is what I'm talking about, that if you follow the market structure and you do the right thing, and thanks to journaling, I've been able to discover the things that I'm telling you right now, that you don't need to trade every day. You just have to be patient, to focus on the right setup. And then once you focus on the right setup, guy, you will be able to make profit. Don't rush, just take it one at a time. Imagine, even though, let's say you trade every week, one time every week, let's say in a month you trade 4 times, and they are all profitable. They are all profitable trade. You're going to be profitable in the long term, as long as you don't take any random trade. And that is the secret. So guys, without wasting your time, guys, I'm having this actually be a video sometime on TikTok, and I'll try, I'll put it there, maybe short videos on TikTok, maybe I can make it, but most of the time it's very more comfortable on YouTube. So if you are never subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly support this channel. If you want me to keep posting this, if you think you find some value in it, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's the same name, Howard Mas, just the same name that you saw on TikTok. So guys, without wasting your time, God bless you, and then thank you for joining me, and then I will be also, posting weekly the trades that I took, and of course the mistakes that I also make, so that it can also help us to do what, to grow together. So guys, without wasting your time, God bless you, and then see you at the top.